So in this video, we're going to demonstrate how we use GREP along with a custom typeface, a symbol font. And then, of course, how we apply it using paragraph styles, character styles, swatches, and, of course, GREP to create for us these symbols that we see in front of us that look like images. They look like the Photoshop, Premiere Pro, InDesign, Adobe Illustrator, Bridge app icons, but they're not images. They are text. So if I were to bring over my Font Lab software here, we can see that these are actually just characters inside the font. So Photoshop is a number 1, Premiere Pro is number 2, Adobe Illustrator is 5, and so forth. So let's just bring that back over here. So that means if I wanted to change this Photoshop symbol from Photoshop to Illustrator, I believe Photoshop was 1 and what was Illustrator was 5. So I'm just going to backspace and hit 5. There we go. There's the Adobe Illustrator icon. And did you notice that the colors changed at the same time? So let's just get rid of that and put back in the Photoshop one. So I hit number 1. We have a dark blue background with a light blue Photoshop logo. If I were to change that, and I'm only changing one character, so just backspace out the number 1, type in number 5. Now we have a dark brown with a yellowy AI logo. Let's see what else we have in our arsenal. There we go. So there's InDesign, it happens to be number 4. So I'm going to backspace out and type a number 4, and we have the dark red, ruby, or not ruby, burgundy, and then a nice pinkish hue for the InDesign logo. So how is this working? Well, it's working with GREP. So if we were to look at the GREP settings for this paragraph style, we can see that it says, what did it say? 4 was InDesign, right? So if I find 4 in here somewhere, let's see, there it is. So InDesign background, set the background color using a character style. If the hash symbol or the number sign is followed by a 4, then use the InDesign background. Otherwise, if the hash symbol, which is, I'll demonstrate that in a second, the hash symbol is the background character, and if it's followed by 5, well then use the Adobe Illustrator background, and so forth and so on. And of course then the foreground color, I say, well, a 4 will have the character style of the pinkish hue, etc. So let's just take a look inside the story editor to see what's going on here. What's the story? So first of all, these are all tables, by the way. Let's jump down to the bottom. Sorry. Right. So let's just, we'll have to jump back to Adam here. Adam, and we have here we have our text here. So hash symbol number 1, and then hash symbol number 4. So number 1 we remember is Photoshop. Number 4 is InDesign. So there's the 2 characters though, hash symbol and the number 1. And again, I'll bring back Font Lab so we can see that hash symbol or number sign is that background. And then Photoshop is in the 1 character position. InDesign is in the 4, and Adobe Illustrator in number 5. So if we go back to Adam, let's see, zoom in. There we go. So remember we had just the 2, and let's change the Photoshop from a 1 to a 5, and we get Adobe Illustrator. So yes, it's using a combination of the GREP inside the paragraph style, which is then asking it, well, what's the hash followed by? And depending on what it's followed by, it colorizes the background or the hash symbol to different colors necessary, and the foreground color to the actual character. So we can do this with, see, this is only using 2 colors in the example, but it is kind of cool, isn't it? Where it knows, it's type of 6 for bridge. Do we have a 7? Yes, we do. So it knows to change the background if the foreground symbol or letter is such and such, and you get these different colors. Now, we're only looking at 2 different colors here. If I were to have multi-colored symbols, you can have as many as you like, really. So let's try this one. And that one there. Now, that's all black. And the reason it's all black is that this particular document doesn't have the necessary GREP set up for these characters that are in the typeface. Here they are here. The C is this, the M, as you can imagine, magenta, the Y character is set to yellow, and then the K character is set to the black background. So let's open one we've made earlier. So this document, very same document, the only difference is I have added the extra grep that we need to our paragraph style. So go down to grep styles, go down to the end, and we've added in here, if we have a C, make it cyan. If we have an M character, make it magenta. Y is yellow and black. Okay, so now if you type those very same things, CMYK, we get something that looks like this. And let's see. It's difficult to know where my cursor is sitting. There we go. Backspace, 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 backspace. Doesn't really matter what order I type them in. I can type the K first, and then the Y, and then the C, and then the M, and then the colors just add up. How is that working? Well, it's working with the kerning table inside the typeface. So if I were to type in here CMYK, so there's the symbols appearing. I don't know if I actually have the CMYK. Let me just see. No, I got MYK. CMYK. There we go. So this is inside Font Lab, and we can look at the actual current characters. I'll just choose one. There we go. Is that how I do it? Gotta remember how I do it. Here. It's been a while. Let's just set this to 0. Okay, there we go. I've messed up my kerning table. But basically, if a C is followed by an M, then just the glyphs land on top of each other, and they just kind of stack in a Z order. And then, yeah, of course, I'm going to say revert. And then when that typeface is used, then you'll have this Z order thing happening. The kerning table is making everything land on top of each other. InDesign is then using grep to say, well, what is the symbol? Well, apply this color to it and all that kind of stuff. Why don't we just use multicolor typefaces? Because you'll notice in Font Lab, I do actually have the colors in here. Well, the reason is, to my knowledge, multicolored typefaces only support RGB. So for going out to the web, etc. So that's not what I want. I want to go CMYK to press, and I don't want any color issues. So yeah, so that's how and why we're using this solution. And if I can bring up an example. So all of these symbols that we see here are using the very same technique. We're using GREP to create a yellow background with a black glyph in front, or the very same background character, which is, yes, the number sign or the hash symbol is now going to be cyan here with a white glyph in front, or an orange background with a white glyph, all depending on what GREP decides to do. And we can see multicolored typefaces or multicolored symbols happening here. These have yet to be finalized, which is why we have this pink background, and things are overlapping, but that's fine. That's just in the works. Here's a multicolored one again. 1, 2, 3, 4 colors plus white. Yeah, so that's how we're using it. So we can create the Campus Australia-wide books, which have lots and lots and lots of symbols, hundreds and hundreds and, well, thousands. The document is hundreds of pages long and thousands of campsites. So as you can imagine, using images to do this, not reasonable. Using text to do this, reasonable, fast, speedy. And we started out using Corel software, Ventura Publisher. Not using that anymore, using InDesign and getting the same quality results, and maybe even better. But you didn't hear that from me. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed this video, and have fun with GREP.